Hi, this is Adam from Amaya Sales UK, and today we'd like to show you how to use the Oaky White toner printer to print the Forever's Flexsoft no-cut product, which gives you single coloured prints with no weeding, whether they're metallic, standard colours or neon. So how do we produce the product? First thing we do, we have the transfer paper that we use, and this is Flexsoft. So you buy the paper in the colour that you want to print, and use the original B paper that you'll also use with the laser dark no-cut product. We're going to produce this print in the Oaky White toner printer, and today that's the 8432. As you would expect, the white toner printer has white toner in it, but what we're also going to do today is use Oaky's black toner and black cartridge in the actual machine. This is a separate purchase which you need to make, so you have the toner and the drum. To install this into the machine, you switch the printer off, and then you open the printer up, and with the toner locked into the drum, we lift and take these out and replace it with the black. Gentle little push to make sure it's all in. Lock down the top, front, and switch back on. This now will tell the machine that it's got a black toner in there, which will allow us to print onto the product. We open up the trays just like normal, because with all transfer papers we use the front and back trays to give the smoothest transfer through the printer till it comes out the other side. The laser dark paper and the Flexsoft have got a matte and a shiny side, and we always print on the matte side. So it's matte side up in the printer. And we'll just wait for the printer to warm up, and then we'll be ready to go. So the first question is why are we using black toner and not the white toner? When you use the Flexsoft product, as we said at the start, you buy the colour that you want, so your artwork only needs to be in black. With the white toner in the machine, you're going to use cyan, magenta and yellow to produce a processed black, so you're using 3 toners. Installing the black toner means you're just using the one, so it's cheaper for production. 1, because you're only using 1 toner, and 2, because the black toner and the black drum is cheaper than the other colours. So let's move over to the artwork. So as always, we're using the Forever transfer rip. This gives you the best control over the Oaky White toner printer range. And the first thing we do is select the colour profile. The colour profile, like the others, is especially for and only when you're using the black toner in the printer. You double click this, and then as usual we would load the job into the transfer rip just by hitting load at the bottom and then finding wherever you've saved your file. When you click on the images, you'll see a little preview at the bottom so you can see and gauge whether you've got the right image. For this instance, we're going to print a vintage motorcycle design, and even if I didn't know the name of the job, I can view it in the little thumbnail at the bottom. Once we've got the image that we want, we select it. This will take it into step 3 of the rip, which is where if you had a full colour logo, you could alter some settings, you can up the saturation, make things brighter, especially if you're printing photographs and going to look at rasterising them as well further down the line. Rasterising as a separate subject we're going to do some more videos on, because you need to go into it a little bit more depth to have an understanding. It's far easier than people realise. Today let's concentrate on the Flexsoft. So there's nothing to alter in the image because it's single coloured. There's nothing to control on the white ink, so we take it to the final stage, and this is where you just simply select your printer, whether you want to mirror it or not, how many copies, and we hit print. This will now send to the printer, generate the job and print our design onto the paper. Once this comes out, we then along with the B paper, going to heat press these together, and what will actually happen is the glue will only stick where the black toner is on the paper. When we come to press onto the garment, this is what will give you, like I showed you at the start on the sample, it will only transfer the ink, just like the other best-selling Forever products. So this image here has now been produced with just the black toner, but when we actually heat press it, the colour it's going to show is the rose metallic. So what we're going to do now is heat press these two together, make the transfer using our heat press, and in this case it's the Styles Hoptronic Fusion IQ. We pull out the print bed and we use some protection paper on the bottom, followed by our image face up and our glue face down, or some people prefer to so they can see the yellow ink on the back. And then we sandwich this together with another sheet of protection paper. Important thing to note here as well, although the product is very similar to laser dart no cut, the time and temperature is different, and this is one of the most common mistakes people make. Laser dart no cut heat presses it at 150 degrees. Flexsoft no cut is 135 degrees. All of the heat press instructions are available on the website. We can email them to you, or you can contact a member of the technical support team to help you. 135 for 2 minutes. We're going to place this under the press at a light to medium pressure and press these together. Okay, so we've got about 20 seconds left now on the heat press. Another thing to remember with Flexsoft no cut is when you pull it out of the press and you remove the protection sheet, you're supposed to give the transfer a firm rub with a bit of fabric, and the reason for this is you don't peel it hot, so rubbing it, I'm just going to use a bit of old t-shirt. This allows us to take a bit of initial heat out before we actually peel it. So I'll slide open the press, take my protection paper off, and with my fabric I just give it a little rub, and the idea here is you're rubbing where the ink is, and it just helps cool the transfer down a little bit. And then we peel the two apart, and what we'll see is that the glue will have stuck where the black toner is, giving us our transfer ready to heat press to the garment. Just nice and steady, nice and low, till we get to the end of the sheet. So you'll see now the black ink has gone white where the glue is, and this sheet you can see where the glue is taken off the transfer paper. Important with all these type of transfers is that there can be a little bit of residue around the edge of the transfer, which we don't want transferring onto the garment. Most people use a guillotine to do this because it's quicker. Unfortunately today we only have scissors, but you'll see from this it's a very quick trim around the edge. You don't have to be careful. We just don't want to ruin the garment. We want a top job first time. So then we have our transfer. We're going to heat press this on a black t-shirt. So we position this on the heat press. I always do the neck at the front because it saves me leaning over the back to get it straight, saves any backache. Plus it makes it a little bit easier for lining up. I always you see the shirt's quite creased at the moment. I'll always give the shirt 2 or 3 seconds just to flatten the garment out, giving us a nicer area and a safer area to press onto. I position the transfer on the garment, and then I'll lay a sheet over the top while I press this for 30 seconds. So press time to the garment is 30 seconds. Just while this heat presses, There are different times and temperatures that you can heat press this material, which we can go through with any of our customers at any point. If you're pressing onto cotton, we tend to be 135. If you were doing polyester, there's different times, or nylon, there's different times, and it's quite key to get the right time and temperature for the product you're using. Got 4 seconds left. 1 and lift. And this is a cold peel transfer. So you take the garment off the heat press and place it on the side to cool down, like so. Once your garment's cooled down, you can then peel off the transfer. Normally what you would do, you'd print off your 5 or 10 transfers, heat press your A and B paper, so you're applying the glue on the back, heat press one on a garment, put it on a desk, heat press your next one, pile them all on top of each other. If you're peeling them in 10 minutes, half an hour, the following morning, as long as it's cold, it's going to work. The process of doing it, take the transfer over so you can see the transfer face up, and remember these transfers only stick where the glue is. So I now take hold of the corner, making sure I keep any stretch out of the garment. I hold the corner, keep it flat, and roll the transfer away. So at that stage you can see where the ink and the glue has left the foil, gone onto the shirt, but at this stage it's not 100% finished. We need to now finish this with matte finishing paper, and it's this product that gives it its washability, its durability and its stretchability. So let's do that. Take the shirt over to the press, the same temperature, nice and flat on the press. We use a sheet of the A3 matte finishing paper, which is reusable. I would keep reusing this until I get creases in it, then I'd use a fresh sheet. Cover the whole of the design and press this again for 30 seconds. This is a critical part of the transfer, and the matte finishing paper, it must be used. You can't use a baking paper sheet, a Teflon sheet, or a piece of tracing paper. The Forever product's there to give it the durability and the strength of ongoing washing. They also have a gloss finishing paper as well, which gives a slight sort of satin finish, but matte finishing is by far the favourite, which you'll see on the print now. So if I slide this out, and you'll see that's the finished product. And just to show you, there is movement in the garment. It's not like a vinyl, it's nice and soft, and you produce your metallic print on the Oaky white toner printer, no weeding, stress free.